Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today NVV just filed their latest earnings report and I'm seeing a few concerning signs about their cash situation. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The company is reporting its second quarter results, and while they announced some good news, there are underlying details that I want to dig into. So let's dive into the report filed on the 14th of August 2026. This filing is essentially an update on the company's financial health and operational results for the second quarter ended the 30th of June 2026. It mainly points to a press release the company put out, and that is where the juicy details are. This press release is the heart of the filing, and it tells us about NVVE Holding Corp. As financial performance, we often see companies use these filings to distribute important information, like earnings reports, to the public. Nuvve Holding Corp, also known by its ticker NVVE, is the company we are looking at. They are involved in the consumer cyclical sector, specifically specialty retail. Now, the market cap is currently very small, around $1 million, with the stock trading at about $1.12. They also have a relatively small team of just 45 employees. The company has common stock registered on the OTCQB market. This is important because OTC markets generally have less stringent listing requirements than major exchanges like the NYSE or NASDAQ. The key takeaway from this report is that Nuvve Holding Corp released its financial results for the second quarter of 2026. This means we are getting a look at how the company performed in the 3 months leading up to the 30th of June. Looking at the context provided, Nuvve Holding Corp has had some recent news. There was a report suggesting a potential stock price forecast, with some asking if it is a buy. Another headline states that Nuvve raised $2.5 million, but their cash on hand at the end of June was only $0.5 million. This is a critical point to watch. Raising money is good, but if your cash balance is low, you need to keep raising funds to stay afloat. We also see mentions of real-time quotes in charts, which is standard for any publicly traded company. However, a very concerning piece of news from July was that Nuvve received a notice of delisting. This means they were at risk of being removed from the exchange they are traded on, often due to not meeting minimum price or financial requirements. This delisting notice, combined with a low cash balance, paints a picture of a company in a precarious financial position. Institutional investors like UBS Group, AG, Geode Capital Management, and HRT Financial LP hold small percentages of the company's shares. Citadel Advisors LLC and Tower Research Capital LLC also have minor holdings. These are often large firms that trade in large volumes, so their small percentage might not indicate strong conviction. The report itself doesn't contain detailed financial tables within the filing itself, as it primarily refers to an attached press release. However, the information it points to is crucial. The fact that they issued a press release about their financial results means the detailed numbers are available, and they are incorporated by reference into this filing. This is a common practice. The core of what we learn from this filing, especially when cross-referenced with the news, is that Nuvve Holding Corp is likely facing significant financial challenges. The mention of raising $2.5 million while ending the quarter with only $0.5 million in cash suggests they're burning through cash at a rapid pace. Companies need cash to operate, pay employees, develop products, and fund their growth. If that cash runs out, they can face severe operational issues, potentially leading to bankruptcy or delisting. The delisting notice from July is a major red flag. Companies typically receive such notices when their stock price falls below a certain threshold for an extended period, or if they fail to meet other exchange requirements. For Nuvve, this suggests they might have been struggling to maintain the minimum stock price needed to stay listed. In situations like this, where a company is raising capital but still has very low cash reserves and faces delisting warnings, it is a sign of high financial stress. We often see companies in this position engage in further dilutive financing or reverse stock splits in an attempt to boost their stock price and meet listing requirements. A reverse stock split, for instance, consolidates existing shares into fewer, more valuable shares. But it does not fundamentally change the company's financial health, and historically, many micro-cap companies that undergo reverse splits eventually get delisted anyway. For example, Kodak did a 1-for-20 reverse split in 2021, and unfortunately, its stock price continued to decline, leading to further issues. The story here is one of a company that is actively trying to secure funding, but appears to be burning through cash quickly, coupled with the looming threat of being removed from the stock exchange. This creates a lot of uncertainty for shareholders. Now, looking at these results more broadly, Nuvve Holding Corp appears to be in a very challenging operational and financial environment. The recent news and the nature of this filing point towards a business that is struggling to achieve sustainable profitability and liquidity. The risk I am watching is whether Nuvve can secure enough ongoing funding to cover its operational costs and avoid delisting without excessively diluting its existing shareholders. My biggest concern is the low cash balance relative to the capital raised, which indicates a high burn rate. What I am actually looking for is a clear path to profitability, or at least a stable operational model that does not require constant large infusions of cash. And the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If you found this analysis helpful, please like, subscribe, and join our Discord community linked in the description.